it's Melissa from Porch Swing Creations. A while back I shared with you a card on my blog that was this one, and I showed how to do this watercolor technique. I thought I'd do a video now just to show you how I did it. And here's a card that I just finished using the exact same technique. So I'll show you how to do this card. I'm just going to show you how to do the background. If you'd like any details on how I did the coloring or the little flower details or the stamp sets that I've used, I'll put a link below to my blog showing all the products and how I assembled this card when it was all done. But for right now I'm just going to show you how to do this background. So you'll only need a few things. You're going to need a piece of butcher paper. You could also use a piece of wax paper, would work just the same, and I've just taped it to my work surface so that it's not going to shift around on me. You'll need a piece of watercolor cardstock, and then you're going to need any color ink pads that you like. So for this one I'm going to use Bermuda Bay, Strawberry Slush, and Gumball Green. And depending on how bright you want your background to be, of course pick brighter colors. If you want them to be more pastel, go with softer muted colors. But you'll notice that no matter how many times you do this, the technique will always look different and your backgrounds will always change, even if you use the same colors, which is true because I've used the exact same colors, these three colors, in both of my examples, and the backgrounds are completely different. So we're going to start with the Gumball Green, and all you're going to do is directly from your ink pad, you're just going to start smearing ink randomly onto your butcher paper or your wax paper. So I've put a little bit of that Gumball Green on there. Now I'm going to go in with the Bermuda Bay, and I'm just going to fill in some of the areas. You don't want to really slide your ink pad through the ink that you've already put down because you will stain your ink pad. Depending which colors you use, you might notice that more than with others. So I'm just going to fill that in kind of just in a few spots. And then I'm going to finish with the Strawberry Slush. And I'm just going to add that into a couple places, so I don't want it to touch and smear onto my ink pad, so I'll just put that in a few little spots so it kind of looks like that when you're done. Then you're going to take one of these Stampin Up spritzers and just fill it with water, and you're just going to start misting your butcher paper and your ink, and you want to give it quite a good hit with water so that it all starts to pool and bead together. And then you just take your piece of watercolor paper and you just want to lie that face down into that ink and give it a couple turns, really let it work itself in, and then gently pick it up. When you flip it over, you'll see you've created this marble effect, and in some places it'll still be pooled, and that's okay. You can let it kind of roll down the paper if you want, or you can leave it, or you can take it to a heat gun and give it a quick hit with the heat if you're impatient like I am, so that it dries a little bit quicker for you. And once it's dry, because you still have this ink on your butcher paper, you can still go back if you think that it's kind of ink didn't really hit it right there. You can go right back in and just kind of tap it into what you've done and add a little bit more ink. I'd wait for it to dry though before you did that step. That's kind of important. So that's about all. That's all there's to it. From here on in, if say you wanted to do more of these but you didn't want this color combo, it's just as simple, because you're using the butcher paper or the wax paper, just take a piece of paper towel and just wipe off your paper and you're ready to go with the next project. So from here, once this is dry, you can cut it with any framelit that you want. You can use this as your card base, stamp over top of it now, anything you like. It's kind of a blank canvas. It's just kind of like you've made your own piece of cardstock or design your series paper. So that's it for now. If you have any questions, leave a comment below or visit my blog at porchswingcreations.com. and I hope you enjoyed this one. I'd love to see what you guys come up with. Have a great one. Bye-bye.